Let me introduce you to the most online country in the world. Here, taxes are online, voting is online, schools are online, and the justice system is online. You can be a resident online without even visiting the country. Welcome to Estonia, where you can talk to your doctor over FaceTime and get medicine online. As soon as you are born, you get a digital ID. In kindergarten, they give you coding and robotics classes to make you as tech-friendly as possible. And people are not worried about online privacy because Estonia is also good at encryption. The internet is moving fast and the choice is very clear. Countries that adopt the internet will win the future, and the ones that don't will lose it. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. This is the car of the future. It has no gas tank and no engine. It's the first electric car from Vietnam. This is my first ever car review. A company called VinFast wanted to build cleaner cars. So they hired thousands of people, invested billions of dollars to build 5 electric cars all the way in Vietnam. They run on batteries. Inside, there are no speedometers. All the information is on the glass. It only has 10 buttons. Everything else is a touchscreen. It's super affordable. And the best part is that the same company, VinFast, is going to stop making petrol cars forever. In the next few years, petrol cars will disappear, and every car on our highway will be electric, safe, and clean. And that is exciting. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. These guys created the biggest crypto game. In Indiana, USA, I found the youngest female racer in the world.
ナスデイリーの皆さんこんにちは、ジュジュです。
Juju started racing at 3 years old after her father gifted her a small go-kart. Then she took part in her first kart race and won. And she didn't stop there. She kept on racing and kept on winning until her father felt she was ready for the F1. Others did not believe she was ready because she was a girl. But despite this, Juju trained super hard and she ended up breaking a racing record at age 15. But this story is not about Juju, it's about her father. He is the one who trusted and supported her no matter what. The world needs more parents like Juju's parents who see opportunity. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. In Abu Dhabi, I found a guy who owns 3,000 cars and a plane in the desert.
My name is Hamad.
Hamad is a retired military man who loves cars. So he spent decades buying and modifying cars and put them in this museum that looks like a pyramid. Here, you can find the biggest Dodge car in the world. It has 3 bedrooms, a living room, and a master bedroom inside. He built a trailer that's shaped like planet Earth, the only Nissan car with the same door on all sides. But the most amazing thing is that you will not find a single luxury sports car because Hamad does not like luxury cars. After collecting all of these, Hamad has one message. A great car doesn't have to look good, giant, or expensive. A great car should take you from point A to point B. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. In South Korea, I found a pastor who saved 1,600 babies from death.
안녕하세요. 부사람 공동체 교회
30 years ago, Pastor Lee had a baby of his own who was born with complications. Because of this, he spent a lot of time in hospitals where he saw single mothers abandon their babies. So Pastor Lee decided to save these babies by creating the Baby Box. It's a small hole in the wall by his church where women could come in secret, place the baby in the box, and leave. The weight of the baby will sound the alarm, and Pastor Lee will come and collect it. So far, he's done this hundreds of times. Pastor Lee's work is inspiring, but we need to do better. We need to build a world where no mother is scared to have a baby and no baby is left in a box. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. This 8-year-old girl in China is the leader of 300 goats.
你好，那是 Daily，我叫陈婉。
She has been herding goats since she was 3 years old. Her parents let her feed, ride, pick up, and even lead the goats with nothing but a stick and a lot of confidence. But when her father uploaded a video of her to the internet, people got annoyed. But her father didn't listen. He knew that she could learn a lot from goats. So he let her study at school for half of the day and the other half in nature. From school, she learned algebra. And from goats, she learned the value of hard work. The combination of education from school and life was perfect. This goes to show that real education comes in all forms. It can come from a school, a playground, and even from a goat. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. In Singapore, I found 2 people who grow thousands of insects to get rid of food waste.
Hi, my name is Kai.
Hi, my name is Junwei.
Junwei and Kai realized that 80% of the food waste comes from factories that make food, and humans cannot even eat this food waste. So they hired thousands of tiny insects to eat all the wasted food until it's gone. These insects can eat 7 tons of food per month. From this food waste, the insects grow big and start producing chemicals that can be used to make skincare products and medical packaging. And when the insects die, they are used as chicken food. This is the circular economy. It's the idea that nothing goes to waste, that everything should benefit everyone, like one full circle, the circle of life. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. These ships were used in the sea, but now the sea disappeared. You will not hear about this in the news, but one of the biggest lakes in the world is now a desert. It's called the Aral Sea in Uzbekistan. 50 years ago, the Soviets used water from this sea for agriculture, and that dried up the sea. The animals disappeared because they have no water to drink, and it gets worse. When water disappeared, the salt was left at the bottom. It got picked up by the winds to cause sandstorms around the country. It's so bad that the government has declared the region a national disaster, and now other countries are coming to help. This sea is far away from you, but it is connected to you. Let us take care of our planet so that it can take care of us. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. In Italy, I found a guy who can solve hundreds of Rubik's Cubes and make art.
Hi, Nas Daily. My name is Giovanni.
Giovanni learned to solve a Rubik's Cube when he was just 15 years old. Since then, he fell in love with the puzzle and decided to see how fast he could solve one. But then he got bored. That's why he decided to mix hundreds of cubes and connect them together to make portraits like this. He draws the portraits on his computer, then he twists all the Rubik's Cube and finally puts them on a huge frame. When his pictures went on social media, they instantly became a hit. Today, getting a Rubik's Cube portrait from Giovanni will cost you thousands of dollars. This guy's story is proof you can make a living from even a crazy passion like solving a Rubik's Cube. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. In Tokyo, Japan, there is a chef who cooks a deadly fish and gives it to his customers.
皆さんこんにちは、私の名前は佐々木みのるです。
Fugu is a type of fish that actually has poison. And guess what? People still eat it. That's why Sasaki's late father spent a decade to learn how to cook this fish without the poison. It is a delicate art that takes years to master because it's so dangerous. That's why people pay $118 to have this poisonous fish for dinner. Luckily, so far, nobody has died from eating it. Today, fugu is a popular meal, and you can find Sasaki all the way in Japan, serving a deadly fish to customers just like his father. I am vegetarian, but apparently some people are willing to die to eat a nice fish. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. Okay, this is a true story. My friend Ben spent over $1 million. In Kenya, I found the Condom King.
Hi, Nas Daily. I'm Stanley Ngara.
23 years ago, Stanley's best friend died of HIV. That's when he realized that nobody knows what HIV was. Because here, talking about sex is taboo. And if people didn't know about HIV, then they will keep dying from it. So he decided to break the taboo. Stanley dressed up like a literal king, stopped people on the streets, and gave them condoms and explained to them how they work and why they should be used. Every month, he gives out thousands of condoms with a big smile on his face. Stanley looks funny, but he has one serious dream: to see an HIV-free generation. Unprotected sex is deadly. That's why we all need a condom king in our lives. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. In India, I found an inventor who makes children toys out of cigarettes.
Hey Nas Daily, I'm Naman Gupta and I found a way to turn cigarette butts into gold.
3 years ago, when Naman was taking a walk, he noticed that he couldn't even take one step without stepping on a cigarette butt. So he did something about it. He collected tons of cigarettes and ran experiments to come up with an organic formula that can turn these filters into white cotton in just 2 days. He built a huge factory and started paying people money to collect cigarette butts and bring to his factory. It gets turned into cotton to make pillows, dolls, and chairs from cigarettes. By now, this cigarette cotton is tobacco-free and very safe to use. Genius! You can change the world just by collecting cigarettes. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. Did you know there is a country with no army?
No army!
That's right. This small island nation of Grenada in the Caribbean decided to let go of their army and instead use that money to invest in the country.
Welcome to Grenada!
The main source of income here is tourism. So instead of building army bases and buying aircraft carriers, they developed beautiful beaches and got yachts and cruise ships. The crime rate here is very low, that the police walk around with no gun. They also invested in chocolate production and make really good chocolate and really good education. This island is home to one of the best universities for medicine. If you ever wondered, how does the world look like if we do not need an army? Well, it'll look something like this. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. Did you know this guy in Hong Kong thought cats and dogs were too boring, so he got a lizard as a pet?
我係南丫島阿勇伯。
Uncle Yong is an old grandpa who is very lonely. So he decided to buy a pet. He saw a tiny baby lizard in a pet shop, adopted it, and named him Boss. In the beginning, Boss caused a lot of problems. Well, it's a lizard. But eventually, they became BFFs. They go to the sea together. They take sun baths. They even give each other massages. Soon, people started to stop Uncle Yong on the street to ask about Boss. Tourists would take selfies and some grown-ups would ask him to jump on their heads. When he adopted the lizard, Uncle Young thought he was making one new friend. But because of Boss, Uncle Young is now friends with the entire island. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. I found 2 people in New York that don't have money, but they donated billions of dollars to charity.
Hi, my name is Jenny.
Hi, my name is Patrick.
See, when people are about to die, for some reason, they become a lot more generous. So Patrick and Jenny started a company called Free Will that helps people write their will easily and for free. And when they make the will, as they give the car to the kids, as they give the house to the wife, and the money to the family, they ask you,
what about giving something to charity?
and most people say yes. This process is so genius that in 17 months, they raised almost $1 billion for hundreds of charities. The world has many problems. That's why we need to find new ways to give. And Patrick and Jenny, all the way in New York, are the real heroes of giving. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. In Austin, Texas, I found a woman who can turn dead humans into a diamond.
Hi, Nas Daily. I'm Adele.
Years ago, Adele lost her best friend to cancer and wanted to find a way to honor her life. So she did some research and found that she can use the carbon from human ashes to make a diamond. How? First, you take the carbon from the ashes. Then you mill it and mix it with a diamond seed and put it in a giant growth cell. Then she puts maximum heat and pressure on the carbon to make it into a shiny diamond, which can be turned into any shape and color. It's a new way to keep people you love with you. Every culture has a unique way to remember the dead ones, and if we can build statues and altars to honor the dead, then why not make a diamond that can last forever? That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. This is how I lost $100,000 and made it back in the same year. During my 1,000-day journey, I decided to build an app that helps people make videos just like mine. I got money from investors, I hired a team, made the designs, worked day and night from everywhere, and within a month, we were ready to launch. It was the highest, happiest point in my life. But the next day, I realized that despite the hype, the app was useless. In 24 hours, I went from hero to zero. One day, you'll reach that same point yourself, and you have 2 options, quit or persist. And I chose option 2. I made more videos. I looked for creators like me and built a media company instead. And because of that, I made back all the money we lost and even more. Soon you'll find out that you can only persist because failure was never an option. I don't live with Jews. Let me tell you why. You see, in Israel, where I grew up, Arabs don't want to live with Jews, and Jews don't want to live with Arabs. It's called self-segregation, and you see it everywhere. In Washington, Paris, and London, the whites, blacks, and Muslims live separately. We humans live with people that look like us and share our culture because it's easier. Self-segregation is no one's fault, but it's dangerous. Because when we don't live together, we get scared of one another and end up hating each other. But it doesn't have to be this way. Some countries like Singapore made self-segregation illegal. We should fix self-segregation so in the future, Muslim kids like me can grow up with Jewish friends. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. Universities are going bankrupt. Schools are spending millions of dollars on their professors and their fancy campuses. But because of COVID, students aren't going there anymore. They're all taking their classes on Zoom. So now students are feeling that $40,000 for college on Zoom is not worth it anymore. That's why more and more people are dropping out. This is just the beginning. We're not going back to school as we know it. Because today you can learn the tricks of your trade online without breaking the bank. You can learn how to code, design, or even run a business right here on the internet. That's why we started NAS Academy. It's just like a normal university, but online for 1% of the price. I believe in a few years we'll look back and thank COVID for helping us realize that education can be cheaper and better online. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. Universities are going, we need another Trump. Wait, this guy is the real life Tarzan.
Hello, my name is Jason and I love my life.
And he lives in the jungles of Hong Kong. He climbs trees. He grows his own food. He builds his own eco-friendly house. And he never cut his hair for 24 years. Every day, he dances. He swims in the ocean and plays music. He's living the good life, but it wasn't always this good. 20 years ago, Jason was homeless with no family and no job. So he got out of the city life and came here.
City life, it's not for me. And I don't know, I try all the best I can do, but doesn't work for me.
Eventually, he found a job playing Tarzan at Disney World. For most people, this life is too crazy. But for him, it just feels like home. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. Did you know that in Iceland there is no night?
It's 11 p.m.
It is light 24/7 even at midnight. See, Iceland is so close to the North Pole that the sun stays up for the whole summer months. But this is not as fun as it looks. After a few days here without any darkness, you start to go crazy. You don't notice this, but darkness helps you fall asleep and wake up at the right time. Darkness helps you have a romantic dinner date with candles. Darkness helps you to stop working. When it's gone, you lose your sense of time and life becomes a mess. So let us be grateful for the sunset, the sunrise, and the beautiful darkness in between. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. Did you know that in Iceland, in Jordan, there is a guy who made a library out of trash books? One day, he went to a public toilet. Instead of finding toilet paper, he found a newspaper. That is when he made it his mission to respect books and save them from being thrown away. Every day, Abu Zakaria goes through trash cans to find books. He cleans them up, uses tape if needed, and puts them back together to bring to his little library. He burns the ones he cannot save and buries the ashes in the soil. And he's been doing this for 50 years, saving thousands of books. College students, little kids, rich kids, poor kids, anybody can borrow a book from his library for free. So next time you're about to throw a book in the trash, think of Abu Zakaria and give that book to someone who could really use it. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. In Singapore, people drink water made of pee. Let me explain. Singapore is a very small country without much water. In fact, it's an island. That's why they invested billions of dollars to recycle every drop of water and turn the toilet water into clean one by doing a special filtration process to clean water. And then a special ultraviolet ray process that is beamed at the water to kill every single remaining bacteria. That's how they end up with this water that is 100% clean and 100% safe. Water can go from this to this. As we take water for granted, let's look at Singapore, because there, even pee doesn't go to waste. This woman gave up a multi-million-dollar business just to save dogs.
Hi, I'm Otara. I'm giving street dogs a better chance at life.
Every day, she saw hundreds of sick dogs on the streets of Sri Lanka. And even though she wanted to help, she couldn't because she didn't have money. So she went into business, selling clothes from the back of her car. and somehow turned this little shop into one of the biggest department stores in Sri Lanka. 16 stores later, she sold her business for millions of dollars. So that now she could open a whole new company where all the profits go to saving animals. So far, she has helped almost 80,000 dogs. People like Otara show us that real success doesn't come from fancy things. It comes from helping others. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. This woman gave up a multi-million-dollar business just to save dogs.
Hi, I'm Otara. I'm giving street dogs a better chance at life.
In Italy, I introduce you to the first underwater farm in the world. Here you can grow herbs, beans, strawberries, even tobaccos entirely under the ocean.
Hi, Nas Daily. I'm Federico.
Federico and his team realized that as the population grows, there will not be enough land for agriculture. So they decided to grow plants underwater. They created huge transparent bubbles and anchored them 20 feet below the sea. Then they brought in the pot of plant and grew them like you would on land. And turns out it's much healthier to do it like this. There is zero pests, so no need of any chemicals. The temperature is always the same and you don't need to water the plants. This guy is not just growing food underwater, he is reimagining the way we live with nature. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. Do you like the color yellow? If yes, check out this guy. In Syria, there is a guy who only wears yellow. His tie, his hat, his jacket, everything is yellow. And so is his house. Everyone knows him as the Yellow Man, and every time he walks down the street, people stop him for a selfie because he is unique. He is such a star that people built a statue for him, and they call it the Donald Trump of Aleppo. But why is he doing it? That's right, Abu Zakur wears yellow just so he can bring sunshine into everyone's life. That is why people love him. And that's why the world needs more people like him. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. This is the spiciest pepper in the world, and it was created by this man.
Hello, Nas Daily. I'm Smoking Ed Curry.
Ed was an alcoholic, and the only way for him to quit alcohol was to eat spicy peppers. Every day he wakes up at 4 a.m. and starts experimenting with pepper plants. The hotter he would make them, the less he would think about alcohol. He had so many peppers that he created a hot sauce business. And that made him rich and got him a Guinness World Record. Because this pepper he made is officially the hottest in the world. This pepper is not just hot, it also saves lives. Ed's peppers are being used by scientists to help children with obesity and to contribute to cancer research. Who knew you could save a life by using hot peppers? That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. See, after traveling to 80 countries around the world, I found that Dubai is the best place to live and work. And this is why. 1. This place is fast. In just 49 years, this place went from a desert to this. 2. This place is diverse. 90% of the population is made up of immigrants, and you get to make friends with people from so many different countries. 3. Dubai has no tax. Here, no one has to pay income tax. 4. People are crazy. You have to be a bit crazy to build the tallest building in the world, an entire palm in the ocean, and a shark aquarium inside a mall. I am a big fan of cities that are clean, hardworking, and determined to succeed. And this is why I call Dubai my home. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. Alright, this is crazy. In India, I found a guy who makes tiles out of polluted air.
Hi Nas Daily, I'm Tejas Sidnal.
He is a material designer who wanted to solve air pollution. How? by capturing the pollution carbon in the air and putting it inside tiles. First, he collected tons of carbon from factories. He processed it in his lab, he mixed it with other materials, he made it stronger, sent the final materials to artisan factories, and made it into art by hand. The result is this tile. It comes with zero waste, zero pollution, and 1 day worth of clean air. Imagine, this guy's invention is able to make the air less polluted and put that pollution in something that is useful for the world. If this guy succeeds, we all succeed. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. This family had 5 kids, but that was not enough. So they adopted 6 more kids.
Hey, Nas Daily. I'm Christina.
And I'm Christopher Sanders.
They were a happy family of 7. 2 parents, 5 kids, living in Cincinnati, USA. But one day, they got a call asking if they could shelter 4 kids temporarily. They immediately said yes. And the boys had 2 more baby sisters. So the family took everybody in too. And they all knew there was no turning back. Full adoption. You see, having 11 kids is not easy. Both parents have to work 2 jobs, but at the end of the day, they say it's worth it. This is proof you don't need to be from the same race to be a family. All you really need is a big heart with unconditional love for your kids. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. This machine prints delicious meat with fat, blood, and everything, all made of plants. Meet Eshkar. He is a real meat lover, and so is his entire family. One day, he realized that the meat he loves is ruining our planet. So he decided to create new meat. He put together a team of engineers, chefs, and scientists, and together they spent years making this machine that can reproduce meat from vegetables. It works like a printer, but with veggie food cartridges instead of ink. So it can copy the real texture of meat and print it. When he served the meat in a restaurant, no one could tell the difference. Soon, this meat will be everywhere around you, in every restaurant and every supermarket. And we can eat it without ruining our planet. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. There is a hotel in Bolivia that is completely made of salt. And it was built by this guy and his dad.
Hi, Nas Daily. My name is Juan Gabriel Quesada.
30 years ago, his father was a tourist guide who worked at the salt flats and dreamed of building a palace there. So he spent all his savings and hired workers to start making bricks out of salt. To make 1 brick, they took blocks of salt from the ground, sculpted and solidified them together with water. To make sure the salt doesn't melt in the rain, they coated the bricks with fiberglass. Soon enough, thousands of tourists showed up to their salt hotel and they turned it into a business. At the end of the day, all you really need to make your dreams come true is a spark of genius and a pinch of salt. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. This video is about a ship that doesn't exist. Thousands of years ago, a town in Greece went to battle using this ship. After winning, the town decided to keep the ship in a museum for good luck. As time passed, the ship started to fall apart, and every time a piece of wood broke, they replaced it with a new one, until one day the original ship was gone. So, is the new ship the same as the old ship? Well, the answer is yes. Even if every part of the ship is replaced, it is still the same because of what the ship stands for. This is called the Ship of Theseus paradox, and it teaches you an important lesson about values. This ship is a reminder that if you don't have values for your company or for yourself, you must create them, stick by them, and live for them. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. This guy found plastic at the most unexplored place in the world. the bottom of the ocean.
I am Deo Florence Onda. I'm one of the first humans and the first Filipino to actually descend the third deepest place on Earth.
He is a marine scientist from the Philippines who explores the deepest parts of the ocean where no one has ever been. When he got to the bottom of the ocean, do you know what he found? No, he did not find the Titanic. He found plastic, trash, and it stays there forever. Think about that. That's why plastic pollution is dangerous. But instead of losing hope, Dr. Dio saw an opportunity to educate. He took pictures of this plastic continent and started sharing it with the world. Cleaning up plastic stuck at the bottom of the ocean is impossible. But what is possible is to stop using plastic in your home. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. This guy found plastic at the most unexplored place in the world. The bottom of the ocean.
I am Deo Florence Onda. I'm one of the first
Okay, this is a heartwarming story.
Hi, I'm John. I'm an electrician.
He's an electrician who went to an old lady's house to fix one light. But when he got there, he realized the entire house needed to be fixed and the lady could not afford it. So he decided to take action. He asked the entire world to help and started a fundraiser to fix her house. He raised money from thousands of people around the world who wanted to help. In less than a month, he raised $150,000 and replaced everything for that old lady. The lights, the windows, the backyard, and the porch steps. When other people heard about what he did, they wanted to help. So he turned this one-man operation into a national campaign to help old people live in good homes. This electrician is truly bringing light to thousands of people. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. This guy turns trash into light.
Hi Nas Daily, I'm Ilak.
He is an engineer who was building a school in the Philippines. But one day, he realized the kids were surrounded with plastic waste and couldn't even do their homework because they lived in the dark. Why? Because electricity for them was expensive. So he solved the problem by creating this lamp. By simply mixing water and bleach together in a used up plastic bottle and putting it on a roof, he was able to light up an entire room. And now his plastic bottle has solar panels, so it works day and night. We take light and electricity for granted, but for many people around the world, having light is a priority. So if you want to change the world, you can start by giving light to those who need it. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. There is an actual lawyer in Russia who lives in a hole just like a rabbit.
Привет, Нас Daily. Меня зовут Юрий, и я бросил все, чтобы жить под землей.
10 years ago, Yuri was a lawyer in Moscow, but he hated his life, so he quit and left everything behind to live in a tent 100 kilometers outside of Moscow. But during the winter, his tent got destroyed. So what did he do? He dug a hole. With a shovel, some rocks, and clay, he dug a hole and built this house. He takes water from rain or snow for showers. He uses a solar panel to power his kitchen. Now, Yuri became a librarian and built his own library where people can trade books instead of buying them. With his hole and his library, this lawyer is finally happy. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. This kid is officially the youngest guru in the world.
Hi Nas Daily, my name is Tibet.
When he was 6, his mom was diagnosed with cancer. And after a long battle with drugs and chemo, she recovered. But she didn't feel the same until she discovered yoga. And yoga changed his mother's life. That's why Tabe dedicated his life to become a yoga teacher and heal other people. Not when he's older, but right there and then at 6 years old. He became vegan, learned nutrition, started training, and now teaches people as old as 89 how to do yoga. He also donates his money to cancer patients and teaches them yoga and nutrition for free to give back. This kid is a living proof that age is just a number. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. This kid is officially the youngest. Do you speak the language of love? I'm serious. Let me explain. Everybody speaks love languages, but nobody notices them. It's a scientific way in which people understand love. And there are 5 languages: giving gifts, or touching, or saying I love you, or spending quality time together, or being helpful. Each one of us speaks a different one of these languages. For example, take my relationship with my girlfriend, Aline. She feels loved when I'm spending quality time with her, whereas I feel loved from acts of service when she helps me with my travels. If you want to learn another language like Spanish or Russian or German, why not try learning a love language instead? Trust me, this one may save your relationship. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. In Egypt, there is a village that still makes 5,000-year-old paper that was used by the pharaohs. These guys are the last people in the world to make this paper. First, they cut the plant and slice it manually into equal strips. Then they soak the strips and ferment them for a day or 2 and wash them. After that, every single strip is arranged by hand into vertical and horizontal layers. They dry them up and squeeze them for days to create this paper. This village makes this paper to continue the tradition. This is why tourism is important. It allows tourists to buy this paper and keep an entire family working, an entire village thriving, and a 5,000-year tradition alive. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. Bill Gates told me something that will never make the global news, and you need to hear about it. For the first time ever, we eliminated an entire disease in a country in Africa. It's called river blindness, and it's caused by flies. They carry deadly worms. If they bite you, the worms can go to your eyes and make you blind. Poor countries suffer from this every day. That's why Bill Gates and his foundation put an end to it. And today, there is no more river blindness disease in the country of Niger.
It's the first country, but we think we can do it for the whole continent.
If you invest in health and education, you can eliminate every deadly disease out there. Let's give every human in the world a chance to live. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. This country does not exist on the world map. Literally, world maps forget to put this country in. Welcome to New Zealand. It is so small and so on the edge that many world maps famously forget to include it. But you should put New Zealand on your world map. Here, people walk barefoot on the streets. New Zealand is also full of extreme sports like skydiving or bungee jumping. In fact, this is where the sport was invented. There is more sheep than people and more green than anywhere else. The indigenous people of New Zealand, the Maori, also call this place home. They lived here for thousands of years with their own culture. And the Hobbit movie was also filmed here. New Zealand may be at the bottom of the world, but it should be at the top of your list. That's 1 minute. See you tomorrow. This is the craziest country in the world. Welcome to Here, people are crazy passionate about potatoes. They have over 500 types of potatoes, and their language is even named after food. In Peru, calling someone an avocado means they're embarrassing. Lentils means they're slow. Carrot means they're innocent, and pineapple means Peru also has some crazy inventors, like Jose, a